Hello, I'm Sophie.
I'm Joanne. Hi.
And we both went to Lüliang last year with our friend to have a look around the province of Shanxi and to explore the north of China. Because I've been to China before, but I mainly went to Beijing or the south. I'd never been to a province so north, one that even borders Mongolia. Yeah, so I found the culture really, really different, from the food to the people to the temperature, the climate. It was a really eye-opening experience.
I'd never even been out of Europe before. I didn't really think I'd go. I studied at Vandine and I booked my flight to China and I didn't know what to expect, but it surprised me in really nice ways. So I actually flew to Beijing, which is a big city, but going to Lüliang, which is it's still a city for us. It's still got a lot of people, but it's more of a more small, cultural, rural feeling. And it was super friendly. Everyone was really nice. Did some really nice things. And my favourite memory was going in the evening, and there was every night they have this dance, and it's in a big square in the middle of the town. We need this in England. Basically, it's all the old people, elderly people, and young, but a lot of elderly people come and they have these big speakers and they play music super loud.
Traditional music.
Traditional music, yeah. So traditional Chinese music.
I can see that because from travelling in other parts of China, I always saw square dancing, but it wasn't quite the same. Wasn't definitely the atmosphere wasn't the same.
One thing that I saw a lot in Lüliang, which again, I said is a rural city, is you walk down the streets, maybe just into the shop, and you'll see they have little chairs and tables on the side of the roads, and people would sit there and play cards or chess
For hours. Drinking tea, drinking baijiu, or eating noodles. The noodles in Lüliang were really good.
Very nice.
I know that in the north of China they eat a lot of noodles, in the south they eat a lot of rice. So when you go to the north, make sure you try all the different noodles. There's such a variation of them. Different colours, yeah.
Textures,
grains,
toppings.
Everything. And so cheap.
What else did we like?
We ate so well. For breakfast, for example, we'd go out and you'd get soya milk, you'd get this deep fried bread, you'd get some savoury vegetables, some kind of pickles,
Buns full of
egg.
vegetables or sweet stuff.
Yeah, for the equivalent of £1.
Yeah, cheaper.
Less. Yeah.
It's so good. Okay, the best thing about China is that if you go into a restaurant or cafe, which you do a lot because it's so cheap, the food comes in
2 seconds.
Maximum 3 seconds. It's amazing.
Yeah, I remember going into many restaurants where there was the fridge with all the vegetables, and we would explain, I'm vegetarian, she's vegan, and we would explain that we don't eat meat, and we just point to the vegetables. They put them all together, make this amazing meal for us, feed us loads of rice for nothing, for really cheap. The food is something so special. It's a big part of Chinese culture for sure.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, the caves, but I think a UNESCO World Heritage Site. There's lots of caves where people actually lived historically and still now.
We went with our friends, grandparents, we went to visit them we spent a night, and they have the caves and they have a house built into the caves, and it's just unlike anything. That sounds really complicated, but it's literally just like that. And then they have a really maybe simple house, but it's still really homely. And then you have fresh trees, and you go pick fruit and veg every morning.
I never thought I could experience it was real, a Chinese authentic culture that is so different from my experiences going to Beijing or going to big tourist attractions. It was very, very interesting. There's Buddhist mountains and Taoist mountains, and we saw a lot of them because we love climbing mountains, but climbing mountains in China is something completely different.
From England.
Really, yeah, because most of them have like a staircase going up.
There's always a beautiful view at the top.
Always.
Some monks, maybe.
There's normally a temple at the top. It's a completely different experience from like hiking in the UK.
As a piece of advice, if you ever go to China, hopefully you will, is like always to like push yourself, and even maybe if you don't feel comfortable because you are different, but you should always push yourself and try join in with the locals, because it makes like such a big difference. And people really appreciate it if you don't like separate yourself and just like have a laugh and smile. Honestly, my word of advice is just to go visit and see for yourself, because we can try and describe it, but everyone will have a different experience from China, whether you love it or don't like it as much, because it is very different to England. But we think that everyone should just see it, just because it's such an important country. In our lifetime, we're young, and it's going to be influenced a lot by like, England is going to be influenced a lot by it, vice versa, in the next few years when we're growing up. And I think you just need to go and see and explore, because it's not all about like new iPhones and like technology. When you go to the countryside, like a place like Lüliang, it's amazing.
You see something that you feel like your heart feels warm, like you feel welcome, you see how people live in such a happy way. Like it's very different from these big cities that we see on like the mainstream media, or like the image of China a lot of people have. Lüliang is a very like authentic place to go.